Gentlemen, it's Tuesday. It's that fucking time again, the PD Skillz Show. This week, we got a guy that played quite the influence early on in my career. A guy that's well known from Ontario to BC and back and back and back again. The man making an impact, the HGIC head ginger in charge at 365 Wrestling, the one and only Eddie Osbourne. Welcome to the show, brother.
Thanks, Tom, for having me, man. I don't do many of these. I'm gonna try to do more, but
you're a hard guy to get a hold of. You're busy.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, wrestler, promoter, father. I mean, I get it. It's a hectic schedule. Plus, I mean, everybody's got to work.
Oh, not even that. I hate doing these things.
Really?
Somebody. I wish I would put somebody else over enough. Didn't put the next show over. I got to remember all these things. So I'm set up. I'm looking forward to this. It should be a good time. Especially,
yeah, and you know what? You were one of the. It's funny for me that this, like, you know, like usually do these things because, like, when I first came into the business, you were one of the first people whose mouths always ran while they were in the ring. So, like,
oh yeah, man, always
surprised.
You know what though? Jesse Jones was actually the main man speaking, and then he spoke so much forever, right? He was the man of that, and then I'm like, it kind of gave me a room to like get a little bit in, but he'd always be able to reel me in, which was a good thing to have.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, I credit Jesse for always getting us mic time. Like, no matter what, he'd always get a spot on the show with that microphone. And golden. It's golden. And I know promoting on these podcasts is huge too. And we do them. We have our own. We have several guys do them for us. So I get it. It's just sometimes I don't always like doing them myself. But I'm going to get back into doing more and more and more. Just like in wrestling, right?
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
And then I slowed down a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit. Now it's back to going hard again.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've been on a break for, no pun intended, well over 365. And I think that's where we'll kind of start off with things. I mean, obviously, you had PWA going, probably one of the longer standing promotions in Ontario. So, I mean, first and foremost, congratulations.
Thank you.
And, you know, you made the switch over to 365, which got hit with the extreme case of irony, obviously, because you were prevented from delivering 365. So, I mean, that's, you know, obviously that's a tough break, but now we're getting back into things. So 365 finally well and alive now, safe to say?
I'd say we're starting to get there. The funny thing is, PW was such like my big baby forever. I loved it, and it was a huge thing. And so many people made that work, and that's going to be the same formula that makes 365 work. But we started 365 Pro Wrestling on a leap year. You
know what? I didn't even think of that.
Hilarious. And then we get shut down by the pandemic. British Columbia, we were a little bit lucky. We got a little gap in there where we got to have shows from August to November.
I did notice that.
Really nice. And then we're back again. So we started up again in July, and just small shows. But in September, it looks like things are gonna all the chains are coming off. The restrictions are gonna be they're set in a different way so we can have more people in.
Yeah, it'll be more barriers, not number restrictions.
For sure, and we can make sure everyone's following all the rules that are set by the government. But we got 5 or 6 shows scheduled, and then hopefully Ontario's able to go by then, or at least a parking lot show in Ontario, and then we'll be rolling like we want to roll for 365 Pro Wrestling.
Now, with 365, you know, coming back, you guys had that July 1st show. At the time of this airing, you guys will have had a show this past weekend.
For sure.
How was it to see the boys and girls' faces getting to go back out there after such a long break?
I think the first time when we came back in November was even more exciting because we were August, the previous year, because we had that break just from February to November, or August, but it was like 6 months.
Yeah.
And then everyone came back and they're ready to go. Then we got hit again for another 7 months, and people were like, "Okay, we're back," but it's like, are we?
Fool me once, shame on me. Like, fool me twice, shame on you, or vice versa.
Exactly. So now we're hoping it stays. Out here in BC, things are looking really good.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to continue going on, push it on, and then let's get Ontario opened up, and once everything's safe and ready to go, and get some more shows rolling. We missed Kitchener as well. those are like hometowns in a way. We haven't been
Yeah,
there.
like those were 100%. I mean, home bases. Now, in talking about home bases and roots and all that, what was, and I'm sure it's been covered somewhere and I haven't been paying attention, but what was the reason for the change? Like, why the change from PWA to 365?
When you're like unmotivated, maybe you're not putting your best foot forward.
Yeah.
I was unmotivated at the end of PWA, and I wasn't working as hard because I knew it always worked. But I knew we had to be better as well, and I'm like, we got to reinvent, we got to re-go. And I like the name, 365 Pro Wrestling. When it's on a billboard or if it's on a poster, it stands out a little bit more than pure Wrestling Association. Back in the day, like in 2005, that was cool. There was like Ring of Honor. They had the pure titles.
Yeah, Ring of Honor was huge. And honestly, that was during an era where people started wanting to be wrestlers again.
Yeah. So it was cool then, and it was really cool. We've had so many memories and so many great guys go through there and help make it, and the stories of ups and downs and all arounds. And then I just wanted 2020. Let's have a fresh start. 365 will grow from the roots of PWA. We're gonna have a huge bash, say goodbye to some of our longtime wrestlers who are no longer wrestling anymore. Like the Warner T's, Sid Summers, Gazes, Ruffies, Reggies, and all my kind of heroes. And they're pretty much done wrestling. And
it makes me feel old when it makes me feel old when all the top guys of my time, like when I started, you're like listing them all, like not wrestling.
Yeah, they're all done. So it's nice to have that new stage and then have them still trying to help me out make this happen. And I told Elian, what do you think about this name? He thought I was just making a website because we're always trying to get more views on our product and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
it's cool a lot of companies do that where it's not necessarily their company name. Like Chad's doing it with No Ring North, where the merch site is onlyslams.ca.
Yeah, that's a sweet name too. I like that. That's a really well done play on everything going on right now. But yeah, so we switched it up and we've had some misfortune, but we're doing good, and we're gonna keep growing and growing and growing, and that's the plan.
For the old heads like me and guys who have seen PWA since the very beginning, what is it gonna, aside from the faces, because I mean those always change over time, what would you say is going to be the big thing that separates 365 from PWA?
We're gonna get our shit out there. We're gonna have more eyeballs on us now. We're gonna get more stuff on the YouTube channel, the Spotify, the Instagram. We're just gonna continue to.
Well, you got Elian, and he's a weapon for that.
Elian's the man. Elian worked so hard. I don't know how many people know, but our YouTube channel had about 1,000, maybe 1,400 videos on it. We had him put 1,000 old matches. Jesse Jones used to always film it.
Yep.
Never got it online though. And then Joey Allen was storing it because Jesse moved up north, and we had this just bunches of tapes. Yeah. And it was such an undertaking. Joey Allen's like, here's my DVD to VHS recorder type thing.
Yeah, I got you.
Went to town, and he just
he's reconnected me with some of my stuff too. Like, and that's been like, fuck, I got to see one of Paul's first matches, that tag match we did with him.
Oh man, yes.
Yeah, our singles match that turned into the tag match, one of Paul's first matches.
Where was that? Was it Mount Pleasant? Because
it was Mount something just outside of Tilsonburg.
Yeah, but it's cool because Elian won't do it just for me or just for you. He'll do it for anybody who wants the tapes. And it benefits me sometimes when people are like, yeah, cool, throw it on the website. Yeah. Because I got a lot of Gaze's stuff right now.
Yeah, which is awesome to have.
And he's got like, I don't know, 50
a fucking national treasure.
Exactly. So it's really cool to have all those matches and just all our history. There's so many matches on there. And it's fun to see some of them when I was a smaller size and see how it's just progressed over the years.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. So, I mean, obviously you're going to get the more eyes on that and everything, like you said. And Elian's, like we said, great for that. He's gotten everybody matches that they thought were long lost recently.
Exactly.
And, he knows how to incorporate different types of media, like through his channels, which is really cool too.
Yeah, he's working hard, man.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. So it's good to have guys like that. And I mean, it's clear to see from the shows that not only do you got, guys behind the scene that can work hard for you, you've got, quite a few guys working hard in the ring for you. Now with 365, I mean, something I've noticed is I might take some heat saying this, but the youth and the heart for 365 PWA seems to get born in BC these days. As
right
far as
now, because
the
we haven't had a
younger
chance
talent.
in Ontario. We haven't had a chance in Ontario.
But who are some of? But that was just an observation. The real question is, who are the guys that like? Because you said you want to expand, you want more eyes. Who are the guys that everybody needs to look out for, like on your show, that
Right
you're not
now,
going to see necessarily on on every single like show around? Like, who are the guys that 365 kind of put out
in
there?
BC, we share a lot of talent. It's different than Ontario because you could throw a rock and you hit a promotion, and then grab that rock, throw it again, you
Yeah.
hit another one. They're all very close, and in BC, we're spread out a little bit more, just a little bit more. So a
Yeah.
lot of guys going to work for everybody, and we try and make sure we don't run on the same weekends because we have that option a lot of the time. Sometimes,
Yeah. Okay.
but guys you gotta look out for is Travis Williams, Liza Hall, Judas Icarus, Elliot Tyler, Jordy Taylor, Nolan James, Vico. I'll name the whole roster. Riamon Slasher, Cremator Von Slasher. All those BC guys are killing it.
Now, Cremator Von Slasher, was he not around when I started?
Yeah, Creamy's been wrestling for about 20 years now.
Okay,
So,
I thought so. I
think
thought
it's
so.
pretty soon here. So it's pretty cool. We started really close to the same time, like maybe a couple weeks. He was refereeing before that though, so he's
Yeah.
been in the business for a long time. But we started having matches around the same time. He stayed in BC. I went to Ontario, and we're back here in BC, both trying to do good things with pro wrestling.
Now, well, and I mean, you
I
are
still
doing
try to
good
do it in
things.
Ontario as well. I just gotta get the
Yeah,
handcuffs off.
and it's hard right now, but I mean, you are the only like PWA 365, the only promotion really to do that out of two provinces, and you've seen the title defended in both provinces, and champion, Ontario champion versus BC champion, and cool stuff like that. And speaking of the championships, like the BC title, the Ontario title, you guys had the Pure Violence title, internet championship. Now, are they gonna? Mine obviously a favorite being the Pure Violence, being a play off the Pure Wrestling.
Yeah,
it was kind of one of the coolest championship names for me. What, like, are there any new title plans, like, or something exciting or different that you guys are going to present in that scheme?
Not right now. We got the global champion, which we're hoping can move around a bit and maybe get into some other promotions if we can make those good friendships and get some bridges going across and get talent going back and forth. And then we got the grand title, which is another pretty big title. So I think the grand title is going to be in Ontario sooner than later. I think that's going to be the big prize out there that's everyone's going for. And then obviously have talents going back and forth. But right now, probably those two. We have tag team champion. We have the women's champion as well. And I think we'll try and mix those a little bit here, a little bit there, and then go from it. Because right now, a lot of ladies are fighting the guys anyways and having just absolute amazing matches.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
I love having the title, but I also know it's not the end all be all. It's a good thing, and I want to have it. It's just the ladies are also fighting the guys a lot. So
yeah,
and that's cool.
No, that's absolute. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Like, ladies and fighting the guys and shit like that has become more acceptable, and I feel like the ladies now have become more athletic, more capable, and
everybody has.
Yeah, there's less wrestlers' girlfriends.
Yes. But you know what?
And no disrespect to the ones who just happen to be a wrestler's girlfriend and are also dope wrestlers. We love you.
Some of them though turned into really good wrestlers. Because
some do.
Dedicated and work hard. That's all we can ask for.
I've seen some become more elevated than the guy they were dating when they didn't get into the business on talent.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. The talent now is so amazing. It was still back then too. I think like we had such a good group of guys when I first started that it pushed me. And then now out here, everyone's so hungry and working hard and so talented. I moved here and now, okay, baby, we got to go. And it pushes me. Mm-hmm. So I love it. It's good to have all these guys wanting wrestling to do amazing. So
Now, speaking of, the going back and forth, one of the things that I noticed right away when you went back to BC, is that it was less Eddie Osbourne and more Mike.
a little bit, because when you wrestle in your hometown, they know who you are. So I do,
Okay. Like I was gonna ask, did you wrestle pre Eddie Osbourne there before you came to Ontario?
never. I went to Ontario and trained, and then I came back. So
Okay, so that's what it was.
yeah, but yeah, I usually use EO Mike Besher out here, just in Campbell River on the mainland, and for VIPW, and then for any of my shows that are not in Campbell River,
Yeah.
I'll use Eddie Osbourne. So
Okay.
in my actual hometown, I'll use my name most of the time. Half the people still call me Eddie. Half the people call me Mike. Half the people call me Uncle Mike. So it's just one of those things.
It's all over the map, eh?
Whatever it is in Campbell River. Campbell River's its own beast. But out here, I still wrestle as Eddie Osbourne.
Yeah, and that's something you'll do. I wasn't sure if that was something we're gonna do transitionally, or just when you're home, and that's what it is.
No, just in the hometown, I'm gonna keep probably using EO Mike Besher, because I gotta keep the Eddie Osbourne in there, and it's just the family knows who I am, and
okay, yeah.
So
especially if it's like friends of family, stuff like that, the name's got some merit, right?
Support, right? So it's what it is. And like I said, half the crowd still just calls me Eddie. So
now, like I've seen some of the guys have gotten to travel. Who are some of the guys that have gotten to travel, like, and go to both Ontario shows and BC shows on your roster?
So it started like with a Reggie Marley. So he was when we did PWA, and we made PWA out here. He was the first guy who did it. Then we had Easy Eric Carey, who's the man. And when you were talking about how I can run out there, I was segueing a bit back to give these guys credit. Guys like Easy E, Lenny Lila, freaking Jeff Black, Joey Allen, all these guys who were kind of my boys back there, they're stepped up huge. So I can continue to do it out there, even when I'm not out there. But Jeff Black, he came out here. And then some of the BC guys, we had Judas Icarus, Nathan Legacy, we had Nolan James, and Eli Surge came out there. I'm sure I'm missing a few, but it's starting to go back and forth. And now,
and were any of them like a versus theme ever?
Easy E, he was the Ontario champion, or maybe he was fighting the next week for Ontario.
But just the match, not the whole card?
No, never a whole card. I want to do that, but we might have to fly over into Saskatoon or wherever it's cheap in the middle.
So,
expensive.
Because that's where my next question lies.
Yeah,
I've got a dream 365 card here, not the card, but the concept, and I want to see where Eddie Osbourne fills the blanks.
Sure.
2 5-on-5 matches. If you end up with repeat people, I don't care. 5-on-5, BC versus Ontario.
Jeez,
who you put?
I don't know. That's tough.
We'll start with BC. I'll keep the count.
With BC, Judas Icarus, Nolan James, Haviko, Travis Williams, and there's so many people who should be in that 5 spot. We're gonna go with Rehoboam Slasher though.
Okay.
And then for Ontario, we got Easy, Joey Allen, Lenny Lilac, Jeff Black, and then there's so many guys right there. But Super Kamikaze or Warhead, there's so many guys. It's tough, but something like that.
Well, I think maybe Warhead may fit into the second match that I was curious about. What if we had to book 5 of the 365 era against 5 of the PWA era?
Man. Well, we got
you can
Reggie
bring people back.
We got to go with Reggie Ruffy, Geza, Juan Ortiz, and who would be the other guy? Kind of probably Warhead.
That's what I thought so, because of pure violence.
Yeah, I think he was 10-time champ by the end of it all. And then for BC, it's kind of we've been going about 8 years now here, so it's not as big. But I'd use probably the same guys.
But for 365, so who are your fresh guys now to put against that PWA original crew?
Cremator Von Slasher, Laxa Dartha, Jordy Taylor, BJ Laredo, and Elliot Tyler.
Solid. Fucking solid.
some beasts. Siddhartha, he's been in both promotions as well.
Now, obviously, you haven't booked yourself in this because that's just not what you would do.
Of course I would. I was champ many times, baby.
No, I didn't say you would book yourself as champ. I'd be a fucking liar. But Eddie Osbourne has to run interference. Who's he siding with?
I gotta go with the BC guys, so the Ontario guys continue to get hot and keep killing it. Because
There you go.
Eric is a jealous man who will fight tooth and nail to prove me wrong. And if I just get him a little bit hot, he's gonna fight so much harder to prove me wrong, and he's gonna do it too. He's the man. So and then he'll do this, and he'll get over. Jeff will do his big slam. It'll be great times.
So
plus, I can probably get all their finishers a lot easier. These new guys, man, they got crazy stuff.
Yeah. Fuck, I watch some of your videos now. Your driver is different now than it was back then.
A little bit different, yeah.
Yeah, you went through a safe phase where it was almost Michinoku driver.
Yeah.
And that's around the time I wrestled you, and now I watch you just grilling motherfuckers.
Yeah, I was doing the suplex in Ontario into it as well, like the Steiner style, but then I went a little bit safer, and now I'm a big boy, man. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, but you still fucking move good. That's one thing I can say, like, over all the time. And you're always changing your game up, like your striking combinations, like you add little things in all the time.
Like I said, man, these guys push me hard. I want to be still one of the better wrestlers.
And you still
that, I gotta keep improving.
No, well, yeah, always keep improving. Now, do you still use the like kind of arm breaker over the knee to the combo?
No, I used to do the double impact.
Double impact was one of my favorites.
Yeah, I don't do the impact as much anymore. It's just kind of the redneck hillbilly.
Yeah, and you did Moonshine Mafia.
Yeah, we did that for a while. It kind of just fell apart and expanded. So there's me kind of doing my thing still, and Eli Surge's part of that. And he's kind of still got a little bit of it, but he's transitioning into his new thing. And Icarus is doing his own thing as well now. So, but it's all good. Hopefully we continue to get something else going and growing.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have done a good job at that. Like, because there's a lot of faces I like to see. Like, Judas Icarus is obviously one of the ones that's got to be at the top of that list. He's a guy that, I've never had the chance to see live, but I've seen exclusively through the stuff he's done with PWA and 365 out there in BC.
Josh was killer. So
yes.
And then he did an hour with Travis Williams.
His match with Josh, he kind of gets, I don't know, does he ever get the comparison to Speedball?
Maybe a little bit. I see it. But they're different wrestling styles.
Yeah, no, they're not the same. It's just that some of the, like, I don't know what it is. It's in not their style, but they're almost their motion.
They got the same body kind of. But I'd like to see that match. That's a match that hopefully I can present to 365 Nation at some point here down the line.
Yeah, and you know what? That'd be a great match to see those two guys go at it 100%. I mean, it's the first comparison I drew. So, I mean, usually when you compare two guys, it's always it's always a dream match. Like, people would compare Jericho to Shawn Michaels. Obviously, boom, dream match. I mean, that happens with people. Now, you good?
Yeah, man, I was just looking out something.
Okay.
All good, though.
So, we've gotten a chance to kind of cover, current events, the events coming up now after the show that would have just passed this Sunday. Anything else coming down the line?
Yeah, man, we got lots coming down the line. We have the Vancouver Island exhibition in Nanaimo, August 27th to 26th, featuring Ontario's Brandon Jacobs. Then September 10th to 12th, we're in Courtney, Campbell River, and Sayward, some small towns in the North Island. We're going to bring Mr. Violence himself, Warhead, to town. So that's going to be pretty sweet. And the following weekend, we're in Victoria and Duncan, and we have John Tavius on the show. So
nice.
Some Ontario talent on all these shows coming up.
Very nice, very nice. Any of the matches that any advertised matches so far?
Myself and Warhead are going to do the lights out. You've done it before too. So me and
Warhead, I just recently did that match with him for a No Ring North taping.
So we're gonna do that
Yeah,
here. Show Northern Vancouver Island what hardcore Warhead is, what kind of style he
yeah.
is, and
It's a good, you know what? It's a good match type. It's exciting. It's you know, obviously with a lot of the stuff going on, like as I always say, deathmatch kept wrestling alive and well in certain areas during the pandemic, and that style's, you know, well known now. And it's one thing to hit someone with a light tube, it's a different thing when the lights are fucking on.
yeah, it's pretty cool. And I like the Warhead's pretty ingenuitive, like with turning the lights down in the house and then so you
Yep.
can just see that. I think that's a pretty cool concept. So we'll adapt that and just see have some fun out there. And
Yeah,
then
now
there's lots of
you've
other
had this type of
matches.
match with them before, right?
Yeah, we've done one in Death Proof and one in PWA.
So you have done two. And what's the score
Yeah.
right now?
I don't know if I lost both or if I won the one in PWA. I can't remember. I think I might be 0-2.
You might be
I might be 0-2. I can't
Eddie
remember.
Osbourne needs a W.
But we'll see what happens. I think it'd just be cool to bring that to the island. And like you were saying, man, hardcore wrestling is right up here right now. We just had Jericho on stage. We had the bio and all that stuff
Yeah,
going
it
on.
started, you know, it kind of
ECW.
started just before the pandemic to get hot again. And then they used that momentum and just stayed like with content.
It's pretty crazy. So
And then obviously, I
love
mean,
it.
a lot of it being in the southern states and those being some of the
Yep.
first to open made things
For sure.
real easy.
No, I love it, but I also love the pure wrestling and I love like the high flying. I love all. There's so many different parts of wrestling that are exciting. So
Yeah.
we all win nowadays.
Yeah, and it's starting to get, I mean, WWE product's been WWE product and will probably continue to be for the foreseeable future. But I mean, a lot of other products have started to adapt that, getting a little bit of everything, that variety.
But I think the Fed's still fun to watch too. If you
Oh yeah, it's fun
watch
for
it as a
different
fan,
reasons.
like pay-per-views, everything can be a lot of entertainment if you want to watch it that way. And then when wrestlers want to study it, maybe pick with some other stuff.
For me, WWE is Tim Hortons coffee. Even when I know that McDonald's is better, sometimes I just got to get a fucking Timmy's.
There you go, man. I like it.
I mean, it is what it is. Now, let's go down the rabbit hole. Something that was brought up on one of my previous shows. Now, me and you, we go way fucking back to when, you know, before PWA had even started, when we were both in PWX. Now, there's the infamous Jay McDonald situation.
Yes.
Before I ask questions, I gotta kind of preface this with, at that time, man, that was a time when you were like one of the first guys to like give me a shot. So like when shit fell off with you and Jay McDonald and you were like gone, I was like, man, that really fucking sucks. And then you came back, pulled the swerve of the motherfucking century, and broke my heart all over again, you son of a bitch.
No, I apologize, man.
No, nothing to be sorry for. It's fucking hilarious when you look back at it.
Yeah, it's something no one probably remembers anymore, but at that time, it was pretty crazy. I ended up deciding to do my own thing with Jeff, and he brought Joey along. There's a little bit of hurt feelings with Jay and myself. He made sure to stay on top of me. He was filming shows, so if I did anything, didn't cross all my I's or dot the T's, I getting shit.
Yeah.
I did too. And then I had the chance to come back after we had to, I think, suspension for a minute. I forget how long it was. I don't know if it was a month or like.
So you guys actually did get a suspension.
Yeah, there was something about that. We didn't wrestle for, I don't know if it was 2 weeks or we just didn't wrestle for a minute.
Yeah.
And I was like, this guy keeps coming to my shows and trying to film. And I'm like, I want this guy away from me. Like, you worry about your thing. Let me worry about my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And because he wasn't even running any of the towns I was running. It sucked actually for like guys like yourself and like Jesse Jones, who had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Who was a main player there. And
and props to him because he handled himself like a motherfucking professional.
Because he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, and it was my poll, like sometimes in this business you do things that you regret, but this is not going to be one of them. And I didn't want to disrespect the title or because it was a cool title too. I know
you know what? I'll be 100% honest. I always hated it.
No, well, no, it was just
I hated the name of the title and all that. I like
yeah,
the concept
yeah,
of the division, but
yeah,
like that was straight TNA's title name, the X
it,
Division Championship.
it was, and I thought it was cool, but I felt bad for. I knew it was gonna be piss a lot of people off, but I was also like,
You had to get yours.
and
That's what I mean. Like when I look back on it all these years later, I'm like, what a fucking boss move.
yeah, it is
And
crazy.
I mean, it's like I said, it's all old politics and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
it was stupid, but
yeah, because I mean, at first it looked like, and I mean, I think maybe where Jay was mad is when you guys were doing the PWX shows in those cities for like and doing them as PWX shows, it's almost like he thought he was expanding, and then it was almost like those just ended up serving as testers for you to go.
And that's
I'm
exactly
gonna go do
what
this.
happened. Yes, I can see his point too.
Yeah. But like and it was so crazy back then because like social media like wasn't as huge yet. Like the videos of Jay McDonald showing up at your show were on like tiny like fuzzy little like megapixel flip phones.
Yeah, it was what it was. Like I said, for Jay was, I gotta thank him because he did give me that opportunity to try and run something under that banner.
Yeah,
but I wanted my own thing before even doing that. It was just a way to, there's a means to try and do it. And
yeah, especially if you got goals and all that, and you had a big squad to support doing your own thing anyways.
Man, we were very fortunate with all the wrestlers that helped out in that Cambridge, Waterloo area in the beginning because everyone took it on their back. We were all. It was
such a good squad, and it was different than a lot of places put together.
For sure, and just because there wasn't a lot of promotions going at that time when PWA first started, it was like you had PWX, but you guys kind of stick to a couple little areas. You had GLCW was kind of Brantford, maybe Hamilton, and then you had BCW. I think it was on hiatus at that point, and you had Neo out in the Niagara area. So there wasn't like there's something having to go on in Hamilton.
Yeah, and one of the things I liked though, I mean, even though what's funny is everywhere had their different territories, but what was one cool thing about PWA is they seem to have their guys and you didn't get stuck with, and I mean, I don't, for the sake of shit talk, I don't fucking name names right now, but PWA never had the same main event that 10 other indie shows had with whatever two combinations of the same three guys. You guys made your own stars, made your shows different. It wasn't like, you go this weekend, you see guy 1 and 3 against each other, the next week 1 and 2, the next week 2 and 3, and so on and so forth. At every single indie show, you guys actually presented something different, which is really cool.
It's because we didn't have that yet. Everyone was kind of like going to wherever they were. There was no, Reggie was just in a tag team at that point. I think maybe the best guy would have been like a Ruffy or a Gaza because they both had some career and like some stuff, but everyone else is just trying to get out there and like make a name for themselves. So it's whoever's like hot right now, let's put them with them and see what happens.
Yeah, like for me, two guys that I like felt like really obviously came up in PWA were guys like Joey Allen and Eazy-E.
For sure, but they came from the school, right?
Yeah.
So I think of guys like a Sean Paul,
and that's what I mean when I say you guys made your own stars, like because they're still, they became good wrestlers in their own respect, and you see them here and there now, and it's good to see like you guys made your own main eventers. You didn't just go, let's chill out whatever everybody else is paying for the same fucking main event.
It happens sometimes too, though. I think we were all fighting to try and be the main event, so you had everyone who was hungry going for it. You had Hayden, you had Bali, you had all these guys. Warhead wanted to do his own thing, and I'm like, well, here's a canvas paint. And he did. So he got a lot of crap for what he was doing back in the day. And who cares now? It's over like crazy.
And you had that era where you seemed like you went legit crazy. Like just after the time that all that shit happened, like you started growing the hair out. You do sometimes you do fucking pigtails and shit. You just like you were lean, you were fucking mean, and you just seemed crazy at that point. Was that like basically all like what you were going for in that time, or just kind of
the hair was all Gaze's fault. He's like, I'm not gonna cut my hair. I probably could grow mine longer than yours. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, let's see what happens. And then we had a bet, and it was over nothing. There was no.
Okay, so it wasn't
prize.
part of like a plan. Like this is what I'm gonna go for.
I don't want a long hair. That's crazy. I've always had a short hair, man.
So it was just a bet with Geza.
Just a bet with Geza, and then he was training for a fight. And his hair kept going in people's mouths, and like he's like, I gotta cut my hair for training, and I'm like, okay. And then I just kept mine because I didn't know what to do with it anymore. And then finally lost the hair versus title match versus Ruffy, and he cut my hair in the ring. So like it should be done. But no, at the time we were just all wild. We were all trying to that patiently waiting song I used to come out to. It was that's how we were all feeling. We were just patiently waiting. The door opened and we're coming through. Yeah, and I think that's the goal now. We were waiting for everything to happen. The door's open. Let's go.
Yeah, and I mean, hopefully to see that, you know, to come back to Ontario as well. Now, when things like, because obviously there's some shows going on now. There has been the last couple weekends. I mean, I keep telling people wrestling is back. Hopefully to stay. And when 365 gets rolling in Ontario, are you likely going to make the trip for the, you know, the grand opening?
More than likely
for the brand.
Yeah, I can't see me not, but we'll see what's happening over here as well. Sometimes venues over here and there line up, and I have to do the same night. But I'd like to be back, obviously, and kick it off and just walk out and be like, we're back, and then start that show, man.
So has that happened before, where you've had like PWA or 365
Multiple
events
times.
On the same night in the different cities?
Multiple times. So,
have you ever put them together as a show?
No.
To line up a DVD or something.
No, that might be something cool for the future though, because with Ontario being so far ahead, we can kind of do something now with the internet and how everything's working out. We could probably present something crazy.
Yeah, like that's what like, even if like, you know, say you had a weekend where you guys are doing the shows, but you happen to have a couple BC guys in Ontario and a couple Ontario guys in BC. That's would be I think that'd be kind of cool for a versus, and then you could patch the matches together.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome. Right now we're doing everything just on YouTube. The plan is to get a lot of it redone with commentary, because I love commentary on shows. I don't mind throwing one on and just kind of watching in the background, but I like to watch it and listen to it. And
commentary
hear the stories.
Spice.
So I think if we can get some more of that done, and we got a system out here now. We got a switcher, a couple cameras, and I'm learning it. So I'm learning how to mix it all together. We've done some stuff with Shaw out here. We did some stuff with Rogers out there. So we'd like to continue to do that. Get a show going again weekly, hopefully on the either Rogers, Shaw, both.
Man, I remember when you guys were doing, speaking of weekly, because you guys for a while were doing weekly shows.
Crazy.
That was like the hustle. Like how was that?
It was awesome, but it was terrible too, because I didn't put enough cash into promoting them all the time. We were just trying to get to the next one. We'd have tons of fans. We have no fans. We have great crowd, no crowd. So the best part of it was all the experience we got through wrestling that much and that often. Because then we throw on like Goderich and Guelph. So we'd have like Cambridge, Goderich, Guelph.
The triple shots used to be your guys' big things.
It was 3-4 in a row, and then that'd be huge. And then go back to the weekly build up to that 1, 2, 3, 4 again, and that was a great time. So, and we did some weekly out here too when all the students were ready for matches. We had the school. There's no extra cost.
Yeah,
we started doing some Friday shows just for whoever would come.
Yeah, I'd seen because you guys put some of those on YouTube, right?
Yeah, we recently released some of those. We just put them up, let them go. But now that we can live stream, we might do some of those and just go live, because I'm like, hey guys, we're gonna do a match right now, and I'm recording, and everybody on Facebook can watch this. They're like, whoa, or everyone on Twitch land can watch this. Now there's some more pressure, right? And they're gonna work harder. We all do.
Well, yeah, because then it's you don't know how many eyes are on you at that point. Which is kind of good. And it's something I actually wondered watching like WWE television during the Thunderdome era, where I'm like,
that must have been hard.
Yeah, it's got to be hard, but like then like I wonder if the introduction of the screens ever made them think, okay, but how many eyes are actually on us?
Yeah. Yeah. No, they got to be commended for doing what they did to get through it all. They still had wrestling every damn week. So if you wanted to escape the world, you could go watch wrestling. And bravo to them and everyone who's done the wrestling with no one around, because it is hard, but
Yeah.
you know, you
Oh,
still do it for
definitely.
the same people who are going to see it now on a video. You might not get that instant, yeah, but you know they're going to watch it, and we can still hear people now through all the social
Yeah.
media.
I did a bout with Cash at one of those No Ring North tapings,
Yep.
and I mean, it's one thing not having fans, but we actually had like there's a theatrical cut in the match,
Okay.
and it's right after a barbed wire door spot. So imagine going from that to cut.
Yeah.
Man, it sucks because you already don't have your adrenaline, and now you're
Yeah.
just sitting there going, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. No, that'd be crazy. I haven't seen too much online of the New Ring North yet.
The
I see
two
all the
first shows are the only ones online.
Okay.
There was three
There's some
recent
tapings, though.
tapings.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one that there's the teaser out for that's coming out next, which is Northern Brutality.
That'd be great.
And then there's, I don't know if it's getting released, the Jesse Mack birthday bash. I don't know what that ends up getting titled. And then
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen any of the shots online from the Lights Out match, but
I've seen a couple.
yeah, we filmed one in basically in a half pipe in an indoor skate area.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
so those ones are still going through the editing phase. They Warhead's got the hell of a guy that runs the cameras and does all the editing and all that, and he pretty
That's
much
huge.
just tells us what's up.
Yeah, that's huge. Having someone to edit all your stuff and put it together is massive.
Yeah,
I've
like
tried
I mean,
to
just
learn
doing
it,
this
but I
show
wish
every
I had
week, I'm
that.
like, what a pain.
Yeah, it'd be crazy. So it's great though. You guys are going live on August 29th, aren't you?
Yeah, that show is August 29th. That's my first
So that's
booking of being
pretty
back to
cool.
wrestling now that the doors are open. So that's
Yeah, it'll be
it's going to be different though. I mean, No Ring North, it's to my understanding going to be the first No Ring live event
That's
of
awesome.
that type. It's a little popular in the New York area and little pockets in the States. Casanova Valentine kind of got
yeah,
that
man.
popping off in the States. And yeah, it's a different environment. I don't know what to expect.
No, I'm excited to see more of it and see what it
You're a
is.
guy I could see that. I think I could see doing it because you can brawl.
Yeah, yeah. Me and Moira have talked about stuff too, and possible doing some stuff out this way or other places. So
Yeah.
it's always in the air. There's lots of good things happening.
Well, one thing that I thought was cool that I'm sure Warhead's like thought of it himself, because you know that's that concept is one that's easy to mesh and work with any other promotion, because it's like, okay, you guys do over here, we do over here.
Yeah, yeah. And it's nice because you don't got to carry that ring and that trailer to the next town. You don't got to worry if it's gonna fit up the damn staircase.
I said
It's
to Matt
very
Cash, he showed up last at
convenient.
the show, and I was like, dude, like he shows up hella late, and I'm like, dude, there's no fucking ring to set up. You could have showed up early.
Jesus, no, it's true though. It's true. It's
Yeah.
nice that way.
But yeah, hopefully I mean, no matter what the brand, I hope we see you back in Ontario soon.
I'll be
And
back.
before we wrap it up, I want you to plug anything that you got coming up and let us know where the fuck to find you and all of your wonderful wrestling.
Well, first, thanks for having me out doing this. Maybe it'll break it out and I'll be on. Maybe Kingdom will get one. But 365prowrestling.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, all that stuff. 365 PW. And yeah, thanks again, man, for having me.
Well, thank you for being a guest. And as always, guys, appreciate you guys tuning in. YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, Podbean, all that good stuff. Google. Thank you guys very much. And if you get a chance, at PD Skillz Show, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, hit me up for one of these beautiful t-shirts that you're going to see along the bottom here. And until next time, that's Eddie Osbourne. And I'm P Skillz. Happy Tuesday. We're out of here.